Have you ever thought about how when someone tells a story and mentions an object, it often signifies something deeper? What they truly intend to convey might carry a meaning of its own. Today I will present an analysis of symbolism in the Mark on the Wall by Virginia Woolf. Good morning everyone. In this presentation, I will explore the symbolic elements in the story and discuss how they reflect broader themes such as perception, reality, and societal constructs. Next slide is overview. It's a objective, synopsis, research methodology, results and discuss, and the last one is conclusion. First one is objectivity. The objective the study aims to analyze the symbolic elements in Virginia Woolf's The Mark on the Wall to uncover how these symbols convey deeper meanings related to perception, reality, societal structures, and identity. By exploring what exactly Virginia Woolf wants to tell us, this study to highlight Woolf's modernist critique of traditional conventions and her philosophical reflection on the complexities of human existence. And next is synopsis. A first-person narrator in her living room, smoking a cigarette, completes a fire and the similarities between cold and night. She noticed a black mark on the wall, which she cannot immediately identify, leading her complete is identity. She reflects on knowledge, time, subjectivity, and nature, focusing on the fleeting nature of life in modern civilization and her identity as a woman. The mark helps her ground her thought when they come to unpleasant voice. A voice interrupts her reflection, revealing that she is not alone in the room. The voice expresses distance toward the ongoing war and disparage the presence of a snail on their wall. The story ends with the narrator repeating the realization that the mark had been a snail all along. Discarding the comments about the war, the narrator's thought revolved around the ongoing war and the impact of gender roles on contemporary society. And the next is research methodology. The study adopts a qualitative research approach focusing on textual and imperative analysis. And the first one is data collection. I begin by performing a close reading of the text. This involves carefully examining the story to identify recurring symbols such as the miniature, the mirror, Wintalker's table of precedence, and the tree. And the second is analysis framework. I analyze the symbolism using a contextual approach. This means I examine the historical and philosophical background of Virginia Woolf's writing, particularly her modernist tendencies, to understand how these symbols function within the narrative. For example, I explored how the miniature reflects the complexity of perspective, or how the mirror symbolizes self-reflection and subjectivity. And the third, thematic focus. Each symbol was analyzed in relation to the key theme of the story: perception, time, and essential unfortunately. For instance, for example, the Wintalker table of precedence was considered a representation of societal order, while the tree was linked to ideas of growth, permanency, and nature's role in human contemplation. And the next is results and discuss. The story contains four major symbols, and like just I said before, each symbol contributing to its deeper meaning. The first one is miniature. The narrator contemplates a nail used by previous house inhabitants as a decoration, dismissing the idea of a portrait. Instead, she chooses a miniature of a lady with powder, curly and red carnations, symbolizing the failure of authentically associate with conventional expectation. And the second is the mirror. The mirror that reflects with faintness the gleam of blessedness in is the author's symbols for the tradition of fiction as a representation of reality. In her call for writer to portray no not one reflection but an almost infinite number, she is clearing fiction from its long history as a reflection of reality by implicating its limitations in her call for the techniques of modernists to wipe away the failed convention of the past. And the next, in Tucker's table of precedents, the narrator describes a British almanac that outlines rule of succession, claiming it is more biblical in spirit and represent the masculine view of things. In its claim to order, knowledge, hierarchy, and absolute fact, Wolff criticized the system for its inviolate truth, which is reserved for natural orders, and for its frustration. And the last one is the tree. The story concludes with a metaphorical paragraph comparing the life cycle of a tree to human daily growth. The tree represents life, growing rhizomatically with multiple lives and numerous realities in its branches. It represents the natural order of things that goes at the altar of Windtalker's myths, concentrating with the reference books focus on hierarchy. And the last one is conclusion. The analysis of the mark on the wall by Virginia Woolf demonstrates how symbolism improved the narrative, providing deeper insight into theme of perception, reality, and societal constructs. This the miniature reflects the critique of inauthentical societal rules. The mirror challenged traditional fiction as a direct reflection of reality. Whitaker's table of precedents symbolized the rigiding of social hierarchies, and the tree represent the enduring presence of nature amidst human transiency. Together, these symbols illustrate Woolf's modernism approach, encouraging readers to question established norms and engage with the complexity of existence and identity. Thank you, that's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.